play games, do you, Batman?
Save the city or catch your greatest enemy.
You think you're my greatest enemy?
Who else drives you to one-up them the way that I do?
Superman.
Superman's not a bad guy.
I like to fight around.
Are you seriously saying that there is nothing special about us?
There is no us. Never will be. Now, I gotta defuse that bomb.
Batman, we love you! Thanks for saving the city!
You're welcome. Hey, computer. I'm home. I'm home. I'm home. I'm home.
Master Bruce, you need to take responsibility for your life, and it starts by raising the young orphan you adopted.
It's the Batcave! Do I get a costume?
Fine.
I love it! I got an idea. Rip! It's better!
I can only look you in the eyes right now.
Gotham City is the most crime-ridden city in the world.
We need to team up with Batman.
What?
I'm back! Introducing the worst villains in the history of the universe.
The Riddler!
Catwoman!
Mew mew!
Penguin! Gentleman Ghost! Calendar Man!
And the Condiment King!
Are you making some of those up?
Nope, they're all real.
You guys ready to save Gotham City? I am so sorry. As soon as I get back to the Batcave, I will make sure that Alfred puts seatbelts on there. But for the time being, I'm just gonna put my arm right here.
Hey there, Mustangs. Today is the day. This is the capstone for our M Games. We call it the M Games STEM Rising Festival. This was but a figure of our imagination before we achieved the goal that I talked to you about on Mustang Media just last week. I want to reiterate that and actually share with you the update of what's happened this week on those scores. As you remember, many months ago, we talked about a personal best for each individual student. We also talked about what that could mean for a personal best as a school. We shared how Westlake had done on the language arts, the math, and the science tests last year, and said we wanted to set a personal best, or a school best, I should say, in 2 of those 3 areas. So just to reiterate those and to share with you the update of where we've come, last year in our English language arts, we actually had just under 16% of our student body proficient. This year, as I look at the current scores, we have 18% proficient. And I actually just got an email from Dr. Rob Avert at the district saying that the state actually made a little blunder on some of the way they were grading those, and they're regrading them, and it will only go up from there. So it's kind of exciting to know that you've set a personal best and it's likely to grow. Mathematics was one that we shared last week, and compared it to a year ago where we had 20% proficient. A week ago I shared that we thought we were at 18%, but actually with the students who finished up this week, we have now matched the proficiency of a year ago, and we have 20% of our student body proficient in math. You tied that one, so you're on a great track of having set a personal best on one and at least tied on the second. Our science, and this is exciting, a year ago, Westlake had 17% of the student body proficient in science. This year, 23%, that's up 6%. Personal best on at least 2 of the 3 and at least tying on that third one. Just a phenomenal job. It is incredible. And thus, we are on May 19th doing our M Games STEM Rising Festival because you earned it. This is for you. Now, today, this morning, you will actually be receiving from your Mustang Room teacher a sheet a lot like the one I have here. It might be green, it might be yellow. They're identical either way. Don't worry about that. And it tells you how our day will go today. We're still doing 5 periods like we always do. We'll actually do them in a little bit of a different order than we do on a Friday. Usually we have lunch intermingled in there, and we'll actually do lunch after we've done all 5 rotations. So I'll explain that in just a moment. On your sheet, you actually will have the different areas you can go. I'm actually looking at just the first period, 8:15 to 8:55. That's a 40-minute period there. And we have the following activities. In the auditorium will be a movie. It just came out today on video, Lego Batman 2017. It will be available in the auditorium, and it will actually run through several of the sessions. In the gym will be our first this year, dance. If you feel comfortable with that and you want to come get your moves on, we'd love to see you in the gym for a dance. Other activities, and I'm going to go through them kind of quickly. Board games, if you'd like to participate in those. We've got 2 different rooms with that. Origami, and that is a great one. Folding paper and making some really cool things, and that'll be shared today. Reading, if you want to just find a nice place to come relax and do some reading. Belly dancing, quick lessons, and you can impress your friends. Bubbles, and this is coming from our great science geniuses, creating awesome bubbles way beyond what you remember as a kid, seeing what you can do with creating bubbles. Soccer, and we have some great soccer players here at our school, so we'll have some soccer matches and opportunities to challenge your friends. Retro gaming, Pac-Man, Joust, Frogger, and the like, so you can go and do some old-fashioned video games. Playground games, some basketball and Foursquare and such just outside the lunchroom doors, and also a bring your own device gaming room. So if you like to just bring your own cell phone and be in that location and do some of your own activities on it, there's a location for that. It's a quick summary of some of the choices, and you'll see on your paper the location for those rooms or for those activities, so you know where you can go and participate in those. You'll see that they repeat second period, and most of the same course or the same activities I just said are offered again. Not always. Sometimes there's a little bit of an exception to that based on teachers' preparation periods. But for the most part, those are the activities you can select for each of the 5 periods. Now, a few guidelines I want to give you that you need to remember during the day. After your musting room, we're going to invite you to put all of your stuff in your lockers, and the only thing you should be carrying is your QR code. We've actually printed new ones, and they're available from your musting room teacher in case you don't have yours. And if not, teachers, hold on to those for this next week because we may need to replace them a number of times during the week. Your QR code is the only thing you'll need to be carrying with you during the activities today. And yes, you will be scanned in at each of these activities. So it's in that way, it's just like a normal school day. You do need to be able to transition in 5 minutes and be in the activity room, get scanned in and be at the right spot by the time that 5-minute transition has ended. Once you are in an activity, you are in that activity for the duration of the period. Don't worry, it's Friday. They're only 40-minute periods. So if you get to an activity and you kind of think, oh, this isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, no sweat. You're only in there for that amount of time. The bell will ring and you can choose a different activity. On the same note, if you like the activity you're in, you may repeat it more than once. You can repeat it several times. That's particularly useful for the dance if you'd like to be there more than one period, or especially for the movie in the auditorium. As we watch the Lego Batman movie to start, I say to start because actually after we finish Lego Batman is the one I'm particularly excited about is Hidden Figures. We'll do that the second movie of the day. You can continue watching the movie if you just choose to stay in the auditorium for the next period, and you'll get to continue watching it. Once you're in that room, you do have to stay there, but you can repeat the period after you've been there once already. Another thing you need to be aware of, some of our activities do have a limit on how many kids can be there. If you arrive in an activity and the teacher lets you know that it's already full, please know that you need to pick a different activity, and you can try that activity on another period. Go back to it. There are no hall passes during the 40 minutes, and that's one I want to also make sure our teachers are aware of. Like we said, once you're in that activity, you stay there. You don't go to the restroom and you don't go get drinks. They're only 40-minute periods. It's just that long you need to wait. We need you to use the restroom and the drink fountains only during the 5-minute passing times before you get to the next activities. We also ask that there's no food in the activities, especially, of course, in our gym and in our auditorium, but in our classrooms, that goes as well. No food in the activities, and we're going to save that for our lunchtime later on. In the dance, I want to have just a few different rules in the dance, or more specific rules, I should say, in the dance. We ask that there's no running, no throwing of anything in there. Please keep our actions in there clean, and that includes no public displays of affection. We call that as PDA. That is what we would expect in our dance. Now, the last activity I want to talk about is the one we will only do during 5th period. During 5th period, we will have what's called a color festival. We have that on some of our highlights on this video, but it's a great activity that will get you a little bit messy. If you are choosing to do the color festival, we need you to make sure that you get backpacks, binders, and anything out of your lockers during the transition between 4th and 5th period. Because when we send you out for the color festival, we will not permit you back in the building afterwards. We don't mind you getting messy, but we want that mess to stay outside, which is why we're doing the color festival outside. That also goes with lunch, and lunch will actually be done all together at 12 o'clock. We'll actually serve some sack lunches for those who are interested in that, and we will eat them somewhat in the cafeteria and right outside on the grounds. And from there, we will actually dismiss at 12:30 when our day ends on Friday without coming back into the building. So if you're not doing the color activity, please make sure you pick up your backpack and binders and things at the end of the 5th period rotation while you're heading to the lunchroom at 12 o'clock for lunch. That's it, guys. That's a lot of information pretty quick, but we wanted to let you know what the M Games STEM Rising Festival will be like. It's today. You earned it. Job well done, and we're excited to have this activity today.
Y'all gonna end up unemployed riding around in this pile of junk.
You're welcome to walk the 16 miles. Or sit in the back of the bus.
You have identification number?
NASA, sir.
NASA? I had no idea they hired.
There are quite a few women working in the space program.
Least I can do is give y'all an escort.
3 Negro women are chasing a white police officer down the highway in 1961. That is a God-ordained miracle.
In 14 days, astronauts will be here for training. And we're shooting a human into space, and it's never been done before.
With the launch of the Russian spy satellite, the president is demanding an immediate response.
Running from the man.
Space Test Group needs a computer.
Catherine's the gal for that. She can handle any numbers you put in front of her.
You and I are different from each other.
This is about inventing the math, because without it, we're not going anywhere.
Yes, sir. That's John Glenn.
What do you gals do for NASA?
Calculate your launch and landing, sir. How could you be ogling these white men?
It's equal rights. I have the right to see fine in every color.
Oh, left, found it.
If you were a white male, would you wish to be an engineer?
I wouldn't have to. I'd already be one.
Yes, it's an uphill battle.
Hit it, girl.
But guess who else is playing?
I don't know if I can keep up in that room. Just make that pencil move as fast as your mind does.
You've been gone for 300 hours.
Felt like it to me, too.
Colonel Glenn launches in a few weeks. We don't have the math figured out yet.
There's no protocol for women attending.
There's no protocol for a man circling the Earth either, sir.
Every time we have a chance to get ahead, they move the finish line.
I need to be in that room hearing what you hear.
Within these walls, who makes the rules?
You, sir, you are the boss. You just have to act like one, sir.
We have liftoff.
We all get there together, or we don't get there at all. In the fight of our lives, people.
My gals are ready. We can do the work.
More than 50 million Americans watching.
I got a warning light. Go find Catherine.
Colonel Glenn?
There's a real fireball outside. It's getting a little hot in here.